Hi there, I'm Rex King. Welcome back to another episode of From the Archive. Well, I wanted something different. Today we're talking about Chips. Chips was written and directed by Dax Shepard. It's based off a television show from the 1970s of the same name. The initial announcement for the movie Chips came back in 2005, but could never get off the ground. Meanwhile, Dax Shepard was trying to pitch a motorcycle comedy with him and Michael Pena, but nobody would buy into it because it didn't have a safety net. Years later, Dax decided to pitch it as the movie Chips, but rated R, because he sort of grew up watching Chips as a kid. The film did not do well at the box office. It was released on March 24th, 2017. It made $26 million on a budget of $25 million, technically making money, but definitely underperforming. And critics hated this movie a lot. It won the Barry Bumstead Award on the Razzies that year, meaning it would have been nominated for Worst Picture if it had met the criteria. I don't really know all the films that came out in 2017, but yeah, this is definitely on that list, I guess. Larry Wilcox was amongst the people who hated this movie. Larry Wilcox was the original John in the original Chips. And he was right. As usual, I will start with the story. Chips is about John, an ex-motocross rider who has become a police officer because his body has basically been destroyed and mangled and his career has been considered over for a while. His wife is also separated from him and he wants to try to win her back, and he believes this is the best way possible. Also, he's teamed up with Punch. I can't pronounce the full name. I'm just going to call him Punch because that's what the movie calls him for the most part. Played by Michael Pena, who is an FBI agent who's undercover looking for diamond thieves. These two are complete opposites. They don't get along because John, the ex-motocross rider, is a nice guy who just wants to save his marriage. Meanwhile, the stand-up FBI agent is a sex addict and can think about nothing but sex. There we go. We have a movie, folks. And oh my God, was it not good. It was really, really bad. Oh, God. So this film relies very heavily on sexual humor. Now, as I've stated before in this show, I do not like sexual humor. I don't find it that funny, and I think a lot of films like to use it as a crutch. Here, even though I say that, there are moments where I got some slight chuckles, but the majority of the film is the same 5 jokes told over and over and over and over again. Oh my God, I hate this movie. Oh. This film is lazy. It's a very simple premise. 2 characters who don't get along have to get along to stop some thieves. Except the film continuously diverts from its story, deciding to take very key moments and try to make them funny by having the characters talk about sex randomly, thinking that is hilarious, and it's just not. You need to be smarter than this, movies. Seriously. This is not helped by the fact that the characters here are just the worst. None of them are interesting. The main characters are assholes, one-dimensional, and I don't care about them. Most of the bad guys, I don't even remember their names. The only character I really did not mind was the main bad, played by Vincent D'Onofrio. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. He is actually interesting and kind of has this tragic story where he's basically just trying to get his son away from heroin. Too bad it's never really focused on, and it's completely dropped, and by the time it's brought back up again, I've completely forgot about it. because it's focusing on the characters just telling bad jokes. The performances here are really not good. Dax Shepard and Michael Pena are friends in life for real, so you would think they would have great on-screen chemistry. Yeah, they don't. They really don't have good on-screen chemistry at all. And to be fair, that might be because the writing was absolutely crap. Most of the performers might have been able to do something good if they were given something good, but they weren't, so they come off as wooden and two-dimensional. Again, the only case that this is different is Vincent D'Onofrio. Again, I apologize if I mispronounced the name. Because he, whenever he's on screen, is actually entertaining. Whenever anyone else is on screen, I just feel sad inside. And then we have the visuals. This is what annoys me. This film actually has good stunt work. I'm not kidding. This is some better, driving stunts that I have seen in movies like this. It's not relying heavily on CGI. The look of this film's actually good. Too bad the rest of it's garbage. The music even is just one-dimensional and it's completely forgettable. Oh, I hate this movie. Chips has the bones of potential. It could, I stress, could have been good with a better story, better characters, and if the actors actually had chemistry. Now, I don't usually delve into why I think certain projects went wrong, but in this case, I think this project went wrong because Dax Shepard is not a person who can write, direct, and star in his own movie. He has to pick a job and stick with it. He's not talented enough to do all three of these things. I'm sorry. I know he has fans, and I believe he's a wonderful person, and I do like movies that he's in, but I do not think he is the type of person who can write and direct and star in his own film. There are very few people I can think of off the top of my head who could do that. And you want to know what? Dax Shepard is not on that list. So is this film a buy, a stream, or an avoid altogether? In case you haven't figured it out yet, I will go over the special features. The special features on this Blu-ray include some actually decent making-ofs that delve into what Dax was thinking, despite the fact that what he was thinking didn't come across at all, and delves into how the stunts were put together. Again, these are good special features. Too bad the movie's absolute crap. Yeah, this film's an avoid altogether. There is no reason to pick this up. It is not a good Chips movie. It is not a good movie. If you haven't seen Chips, you really have no reason to pick this up in the first place. If you have seen Chips and you like Chips, I tell you, you have no reason to pick this up either, because this movie does not do Chips well. Look, I have no personal connection to this property, but god darn it, this movie was bad. Let's hope we get better next week. We're taking a look at the incredible Burt Wonderstone. See you next time, folks.